Today I'm going to be talking about something I've been dealing with for a while, and it's something that I shared years ago and then since kind of never really spoke about.
I've lost a big patch on my hair. I don't know what it is, and it's just really smooth. And this is what I've been diagnosed. Alopecia areata.
I genuinely think that this is one of the most scary and difficult things that I've ever had to personally deal with, because my hair has always been one of my favorite qualities about myself. And so to lose that, as you will have seen at the start of this video, or if you watched the vlog years ago, you'll know really upset me when it happened. So the way that it had started was I had a really itchy scalp because it was winter at the time. I thought it could have been like dandruff, just dry skin, because I have skin conditions already that cause like dry skin, etc., whatever. I thought originally it was kind of linked to that. I wasn't really too concerned about anything until my hair started coming out in clumps in the shower, which it didn't really worry me too much to begin with, because I have had long hair before and it's very natural for like bits of hair to just fall out when you're washing your hair. However, this felt very different, and it was one night when I'd got in the shower and my scalp was burning. I hadn't put anything on it to begin with. It was second day hair, so I hadn't really left it that long, but I got in the shower and then I washed my hair and it made it significantly worse, and my scalp was getting more and more itchy, but in very, very specific places. It wasn't like my whole scalp wasn't itching. It was literally a very specific spot at the back of my head. So I had gone to sleep and I woke up in the middle of the night just randomly, and it was really bad. Like it was really, really, like it felt like it was burning in this just one patch at the back of my head, and I was just touching it and feeling it, because like you obviously go to scratch it and whatever, and it was obviously really sore, and I touched it and I could just feel, it felt like the smoothest skin on my body. There was not a ounce of hair on this patch, and I was so confused because I couldn't feel it and I didn't know if it was normal. So I was with my ex and I woke him up and I was just like, can you please just check this? I was having a bit of a meltdown because I couldn't feel any hair on that patch at the back of my head, and obviously that was a little bit concerning for me. And so I was having a bit of a meltdown, and I am a hypochondriac anyway. Like I get really bad like medical anxiety and I stress myself out over stuff anyway. But this felt very, very, very real. It didn't feel like a panic. It was, I knew that there was no hair there. But obviously it was on the back of my head. I couldn't see anything. It was dark. I literally had just woken up at like, I think it was like 2 a.m. in the morning. I got my ex to check it and I just said, can you please just look at the back of my head? Like what's going on here? Because something doesn't feel right. It's obviously been burning. And so he parted my hair. He had a look, took a picture of it. And this is the picture that was taken, and I literally had a round patch at the back of my head that was completely bald. I was honestly beside myself. Like I didn't know what was happening. I was really worried that like, was my hair falling out? Like have I got something wrong with me? Like what on earth is going on? Why is there a bald patch on the back of my head that I've never had before? Why has my head been burning? And yeah, that is kind of the story of how I found it. And it was scary. It was real scary at the time, and I don't wish it upon anybody. One thing I will say is I'm very, very, very fortunate that the patch that I had was hidden under my hair at the back and you couldn't actually see it. The only time you could see it, which we later found out, is when I put my hair up. So the next morning, me being the absolute drama queen that I am, I went to the walk-in centre, mainly because I don't like to Google things because it stresses me out more, and obviously, as I say, I have medical anxiety. When you type any symptoms into Google, it will tell you you're dying. So I was like, I'm not doing the Googling. I already know there's something seriously up here. So I went to the walk-in centre first thing in the morning, got them to check it, and they essentially diagnosed me with alopecia areata. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I have spoken to doctors so much about this, and I still don't know if I say it right. But yeah, the alopecia that I have is alopecia areata, and I got that diagnosis at the walk-in centre. They told me there's not a lot you can do about it. They don't really know the cause of it or what can cause it. There's some speculation that if you're on the pill, sometimes that can cause alopecia or hair loss. However, I have never been on the pill, so I knew it wasn't that. At least I came away from that with some sort of diagnosis, but to be told that they don't know what the cause is, they don't know like what they can do about it, essentially, was even more scary. It's not something that there's actually a lot of research gone into. Nobody really can pinpoint a specific cause to the condition. So they just told me to get in touch with my GP, get some blood tests done, see if there's anything in my general health that could be causing it. So I ended up booking an appointment with my GP and got the test done. Everything came back perfectly normal, all my bloods. I was vegan at the time, so I kind of was a little bit worried it might be to do with like B12 or like other deficiencies. Even though I knew I was very on it with my diet, I didn't know if I was like missing something. I didn't know. I was very stressed about it. But the only conclusive thing that we came to with all the blood tests I had done, I've had blood tests for hormones, I've had blood tests to check for B12, I had blood tests for vitamin deficiencies, all sorts. Everything came back perfectly normal. My iron levels were normal, B12 was normal, everything except my vitamin D. However, they said most people in the UK have a vitamin D deficiency because there's not much sun all year round, and so it's a very common thing. Most people have a vitamin D deficiency. That's likely not the root cause of this. But regardless, I have been taking vitamin D supplements since, just to solve that problem, so I could kind of check a box and be like, okay, well, that's not causing it. Still, to this day, have absolutely no idea what causes it. And I've had blood tests since. Again, everything always comes back pretty normal. But I'd basically been told by my GP to just keep an eye on it, and the hair could grow back, it might not. Do you know what? It's awful because they seem to not really know much about it. They said to me, it might grow back, it might not. You might get more patches, you might not. It might turn into alopecia totalis or univalis, which is where you lose all of your hair, or you could lose all of the hair on your body. But they basically just said, we just don't know. It just happens. Just keep an eye on it, essentially. So that's what I did. They then said they could prescribe me with a steroid cream to kind of help the hair grow back. If it grew back, it might not, but it was worth the shot. So I was given Dermovate cream, and it was really frustrating because the hair at the back just kept getting stuck, because it's obviously like a thick cream, and my hair just like stuck to it all the time. And for the longest time, whilst that patch was bald, I didn't like putting my hair up. For about a year and a half, I did not wear my hair up. Because I'm lifting my hair up and it was like right at the back, you could see the patch underneath. And so I just didn't wear my hair up. The only time I'd wear it up was if I plaited it, because it would kind of hide the patch. Obviously the bits of hair that would go into the plait would cover it. Or I'd wear my hair in a low ponytail. And for about a year, there was no regrowth of the patch, and it had actually gotten bigger. And so I went back to the doctors and I was like, look, nothing's working. Like, what can I do? I believe a lot in like your diet being a healer, and like your gut is a huge part of your overall health. I didn't mention that I was a vegan at the time. I just said to them, look, what is the best foods for hair growth? What's the best food for like helping this, essentially? And they said, try and incorporate lots of eggs into your diet. So that's what I went and did. And obviously I was vegan at the time, and so I switched back onto eating eggs, and then eventually I just started eating more animal proteins in general and eating meat again, because at that point I was like, I just need to try anything that I can to help this grow back. I genuinely don't think there was one specific thing that helped my hair. They have 3-part systems where it's a shampoo, a conditioner, and then a treatment for like after you wash your hair. I'd read really good things about it online. I had seen other creators who have alopecia talking about it, and I was like, okay, right, I'm gonna try this, and I have not gone back. Neoxin is one of the best products. This isn't an advert or anything. This is me genuinely just wanting to help other people. I know how scary it was when I went through it, and if I can help anybody, I would love to. If you're using supermarket bought shampoos, conditioners, etc., they've got silicons in which stick to your hair. Everybody knows they're not so good for your hair. Hairdressers always say it. Everyone on TikTok's always like, don't buy store-bought stuff, get Olaplex, whatever. However, obviously, as someone who was going through hair loss, I wanted something very, very specific. So yeah, Neoxin, I tried it and I knew it wasn't going to work miracles. I knew it wasn't going to just magically sort my hair out in like a day. I know it doesn't really work like that, and hair takes also a while to grow. I started using Neoxin, and within about a month, my hair, for one, it wasn't just a case of like my hair growing back. It was making my hair feel in much better condition. So I continued to use it. I used it religiously. I then, after about a month, I started to feel some regrowth at the back. And obviously at this time I had been using Dermovate for over a year. I then incorporated animal proteins back into my diet. I've been taking my vitamin D, and then I've been started using Neoxin, which is why I say I don't want to put it down to any one thing, because it could have been a combination of all of these things. It could have been just one of these things, just working magic. But I found once I started all of them, I didn't want to stop just one of them in case it was one of them. And my hair was starting to feel like it was in better condition after doing all of these things. So I'd say after about a month and a half, 2 months, I started to get a bit of like baby hairs, like really, really tiny, fine. It felt fuzzy on the patch, and I was like, brilliant, right? This is great. Like, I feel like my hair is growing back. And then about a month after this, I found another patch at the back and just underneath the other patch. It was a lot smaller. It was like a 2p coin. I don't know if I've got a picture. If I have, I'll insert a picture here. But yeah, I thought everything was like getting back on track. Obviously my other patch had got regrowth, and then this other patch had arrived, and I was just like, I can't. I don't know what to do at this point. Again, I just restarted the cycle, started putting Dermovate on it, continued using Neoxin, continued eating well, continued taking my vitamin D, whatever. After a fair few months, it did start to regrow. So I feel like that's the hair care routine that works for me. I have also since invested in the Neoxin serums. They've got like a day and a night one that I use, and I swear by it. Honestly, Neoxin is like the best brand that I have. It just makes me feel so much more confident. I feel like it's helped my hair so much. I just think my hair is a lot thicker as well. Like, if you look at this picture compared to what my hair is looking like now, like even when I go like this, like my hair is just thicker. And when I put it up, you just can't see my scalp as much, and it has honestly like helped me so much. So I swear by Neoxin. I've recommended Neoxin to a lot of the boys in my life who are worried about balding, or I know someone who is also losing hair, and I told him to get on Neoxin, and he also found that it helped. So I'm glad that I could like help someone, which is also why I'm like kind of filming this video, because if I can just help like one person and not have to go through this, or some sort of guidance, I guess, then that would be great, because I know how scary it is, and it's not a fun thing to deal with. That's kind of my whole journey with alopecia, and my hair is in the best condition it's ever been. Whenever I go to the hairdressers, they're always like, oh my god, what do you use on your hair? It's so shiny, so healthy. And I'm like, yeah, I have alopecia, I have to look after my hair. Since that second patch, I haven't, touch wood, had any other patches recently. Every time I get like a bit of an itchy scalp, I get so paranoid that like I'm gonna find another patch. And this is the thing with alopecia, is like it can happen whenever. As I've realized, like I still don't know the cause. I don't know what causes it. I'm just very fortunate and very glad that I now know something that works. Also, this is crazy, by the way. So my hair is pretty much all grown back now. But my first patch that I got, it is so weird, and I did not think it was normal, but where I lost my hair, because obviously the hair follicle falls out, my hair has grown back in ringlets. Now this is my natural hair. I haven't straightened it. This is my natural hair usually. However, the patch that fell out is complete ringlets. I'll insert a picture of it. And you'll see how much has grown as well. This was like nearly 3 years ago now, but this patch has grown so much. But it's grown back in ringlets. Like, I've just got one patch that's curly at the back, and it always, like, I have to straighten it. There it is. Sometimes it'll just look like I've just got a big knot in the back of my hair, but it's actually just my one curly patch. It's so weird. And I looked it up online, and apparently it's quite a normal thing, because obviously the hair follicle is completely different. Just I wasn't expecting it, but I'm just grateful that I have hair, to be honest. I'm very grateful that it has grown back, and yeah, I found things that work for me. But as I say, I mean, you never know, like, it can just pop up. You could just, it's like that second patch, like, it can just happen. You get another patch, it falls out, and you just have to kind of accept it. And at least, as I say, I know how to deal with it now, and I've come to accept that this just is part of what I've got to go through and what I do, and I just have to look after my hair, and that's fine. Like, if you are going through this, if you're going through hair loss, if you're going through alopecia or anything of the sort, honestly, just speak to your doctors, find what works for you, and just don't be scared to try new things, or don't be scared to talk to people about it, because it is a really scary thing to be going through. It's not fun. It is quite difficult, and people are there for you, you know, like, people will want to help. And I had kind of come to terms, I started wearing wigs for a while, because I was like, okay, look, if all my hair decides to fall out, then I want to be comfortable wearing wigs. I want to know how to wear them. And fortunately, that hasn't happened. But yeah, it's just something over time you just learn to accept it. Now, I think I've covered everything. I hope I've covered everything in this video. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to put them in the comments. I honestly just want to help, or I'm at a point with it where I have fully accepted it, and I'm very comfortable talking about it. If you're going through something similar, I hope it gets better. I hope you find something that works for you, and I hope this video was a little bit helpful and you don't feel so alone with it, because I know how scary it can be. But thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!